Hi everybody. So today I'm going to be making some jam. So I'm going to be making a combination of strawberries, blueberries, and blackberries. And I'm going to show you all the ingredients that you'll start with, and then we can get started. All right. So you have about 2 pints of mixed berries. And then if you're using strawberries, then you hull the strawberries, take out that whole center where the stem is and all the way down inside. So I just use a regular peeler to do that. And I don't care about the seeds, so I'm not going to be straining out any seeds from the strawberries or blackberries. And 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. So this is freshly squeezed lemon juice. 5 1/4 cups of sugar. And 3 ounces of fruit pectin. So, and that's what you're going to start with. A saucepan and your food processor. You'll start with either mashing the berries with like a potato masher to get them all mashed up, and you mash it up to whatever consistency that you prefer. Some people like to have chunks of fruit inside their jam, so they're going to obviously not going to mash it as much. So I'm going to put mine in the food processor and get it pretty mashed up. And then once you have it all mashed up, you put the mashed up fruit into your saucepan with the lemon juice and bring that to a rolling boil. So I will get back to you as soon as I get to that step. All right. Okay, so now I put all the berries in the food processor, and this is what it looks like. And it looks delicious and it smells delicious as well. So now you're going to put this inside your saucepan on a medium-high heat and add your the lemon juice and stir it constantly until it comes to a rolling boil. And because I live in high altitude over 7,000 feet, I have to add some time to my cooking. So for you guys, you would probably, once it's at a rolling boil, it would probably be another minute after that. For myself, I would have to do it to about 3 minutes of stirring before we add the pectin and sugar. Okay, so after you add the berries and the lemon juice to the saucepan, you're also going to add your pectin and stir constantly and bring that to a rolling boil. And since I live in high altitude, I have to, once it's at a rolling boil, I have to let that cook for at least 3 minutes. And also, for your canning, your jars, your ball 2 lid system jars that you use for your canning, you need to have them sterilized. So if you don't sterilize it inside a dishwasher, then, and you don't have like a canning sterilizer, you know, that whole pot system, you don't have that, then what I'm doing right now is you can put the oven at 175 degrees Fahrenheit and put the jars, the glass jars, on a tray with the lid, with the opening facing up, and put that inside the oven for 20 minutes at 175 degrees. And then when you take it out, just make sure you don't touch the lid area or inside so you don't contaminate your jar. Okay, so now I have my rolling boil of the berry mix with the pectin and the lemon juice. Now I'm going to add the sugar. And again, you're going to add the sugar, stir it constantly, and you're going to bring it back up to a rolling boil. And again, if you're in high altitude, such as myself, then you have to add a few more minutes to your cooking time. So I have to add an additional 3 more minutes to this next step as well. So our jam is ready to be canned. So these just came out of the oven. That's why I have my gloves on. And you could use a jam funnel to pour it into your jars, or you could just ladle it in. However you get it into the jars, after you're all done, just make sure there's no jam on the outside of the jar, especially near the lid area. So that way you can get a good seal to help preserve your jams. Okay, so as I was just saying, you need to clean the lid off, and I just got a glob on the lids on the edge. So, and then also a rule of thumb when you're canning is that hot things go into hot jars, cold things go into cold jars. So when you're canning your pickles or other cold items, you know, fermented foods, things like that are cold, you're going to put those into cold, sterile canning jars. So then once you're all done filling your jars, and you're going to fill it, but you're going to leave about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 of an inch from the top without your jam. Once that is done, you'll securely tighten the 2-lid system, and then you'll turn the can upside down and leave it there for 12 to 24 hours so it can cool and it can seal. One way to test that if it's sealed is you would push the center of the lid to make sure that that the center of the lid is indented. You know, like, you know, when you buy jars at a supermarket and then you turn it, you know, when you first buy it, it's like kind of indented and flat. And then we turn it and pop that seal, and then that center pops up. So you don't want that center lifted up. You want that indented, and that's going to let you know that you have a good seal. And then once it's cooled, your jars can go inside your pantry for 12 months. So we are all done canning the jams, and we have, this recipe will yield 3 pints or 6 half pints. So that's what I have here, and they are canned, cleaned off, the lid's on, and then turned upside down, and you will keep it like this for about 12 to 24 hours so it can cool. And the wonderful part about making your own homemade jam is
and it's so done.
That's the best part, is the cleanup, is they get to eat this. So as you can see, it is definitely kid approved. What do you think, Jewel?
Yeah.
All right.
And if this only helps.
All right, everybody. Happy homesteading. God bless.
Bye.
Bye.